Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Barcelona versus PSG live watch-along Champions League and also Arsenal OLYMPIACOS, and also keeping an eye on a lot of other games going on as well. Newcastle have got a 4-0 win already this evening in the Champions League, which is a good result for them. But I hope you're doing very well. We're very much looking forward to Barcelona against PSG. Teams are in. Rashford starting for Barcelona. PSG have got a lot of injury issues. Doué, Dembele, Marquinhos, Kvaratskhelia. So you would expect maybe Barcelona to have a very, very big chance of winning this tonight, especially being at home. Yeah, maybe many of you will be going for Barcelona because Yamal is playing for Barcelona, as you can see as the teams go round the screen. But evening and welcome. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Another cracking Champions League night. Not in the new camp. We're in the mini new camp or whatever they call it. But yeah, Newcastle winning 4-0 against Union Saint-Gilles and Karabag beating Copenhagen 2-0. But interesting games tonight. Man City are in Monaco. Dortmund play Athletic Club. And Leverkusen play PSV. Napoli play Sporting. Villarreal play Juventus. Some good nights, some good games. Some good games. Admittedly, I put my hands up. I do like the new Champions League format. I think it works very, very well. So, yeah, let me know. Let me go through the teams for you, though. So, who have we got on the screen there? PSG. So, Chevalier, Hakimi, Zabani, Pacho, Mendes, Ruiz, Vitinha, João Neves, Mbaye, Mayulu, and Bacola. So, I mean, Mbaye, I think, is 17. Mayulu is 19. No Doué, no Dembele, no Kvaratskhelia, and no Marquinhos. So they are a little bit slim on the ground in relation to options in their attack. Barcelona, Chesney, Martin, Kabasi, Garcia, Koundé, Pedri, De Jong, Olmo, Rashford, Yamal, Torres. Lewandowski's on the bench. Yeah, a very, very good Barcelona side. A very exciting game to watch tonight, no doubt about that. Arsenal are playing Olympiacos. I will just run through their starting lineup for you as well. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Luis Skelly, Odegaard, Zubamendi, Moreno, and then Trossard, Gyökeres, and Martinelli. A little bit of rotation again. No Saka, no Rice. They're both on the bench, as is Eze, Calafiore, Mosquera, and Timber. So, I mean, look, what we're seeing there with Arsenal is the ability to rotate 5 first-team players and still put out a very, very, very strong side. But for Olympiacos, Daniel Podence, I remember I used to think he was a bit of a Poundland Hazard at Wolves. Decent player, but should be a straightforward win for Arsenal, who are having a very good start to the season now after their loss to Liverpool. Is Pogba playing for Monaco? I don't even know. He's not on the bench. He's not in the team. Fati is playing for them. But Eric Dyer is playing for them. But Balogun's playing for them. Agliakouche is playing for them. But I presume Paul Pogba's probably injured, isn't he? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really know, to be honest with you. Super says, I think we're going to get a great game from Barca and PSG. I mean, look, predominantly on this channel, we do watch the Premier League club games, and obviously I'll be keeping an eye on Arsenal. But occasionally, Friday night's Bundesliga night, and we're loving that. But tonight is definitely not Premier League night. I mean, this is a pure love of football, and one that I'm very much looking forward to in relation to Barcelona and PSG. And I think it will be a good game because I think both teams want to play football in the right way. And I think that we will see a good game tonight. Let me just I don't want to watch Monaco play Man City, thanks. I want to watch Arsenal play Olympiacos. That will do me. I'll have a bit of that, please. Yes, I will have a bit of that. Thank you. Yeah. Get that up. There we go. That's great. Thank you very much. There we go. 2 screens. We're ready to go. Score prediction. Motti says, can you do a poll? What do you want me to do a poll on? I will do a poll for PSG against Barcelona. I think that's the one we'll do. So result tonight. Barcelona win. Draw. Or PSG win. Let us know your thoughts. Thoughts on Howard's Web. Rajaf says, what's your thoughts on Howard's Web? Howard's Web. Howard's Web. Why can't you say Howard's Web? Why can't you say Howard Webb? Thoughts on Howard Webb's reasoning for VAR's intervention in overturning Arsenal's penalty. Also need PSG to cook Barcelona. Well, we touched on it a little bit last night. So Howard Webb basically said that they made the right decision. It was clear and obviously not a penalty in the Newcastle-Arsenal game. But basically, Howard Webb is a turkey not voting for Christmas. What do we expect? He's not going to come out as the boss of the PGMOL and admit that they're fucking rubbish. I mean, he had to admit the Brentford thing was a red card. He can't then go and say we've messed up on a big one in a big game as well. He got it completely wrong. It is Howard's Web. Yeah, web of lies. Howard's Web of lies. That's what I call him. Because he is lying. He's lying to himself because he's a contradiction. Last season, there's at least a couple of occasions where they've said getting the ball doesn't mean it's not a penalty. And now he's saying getting the ball means it's not a penalty. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Arsenal won. Football won because the injustice was buried like a cat buries a turd. But, yeah, I mean, look, they're bad at their job. It's as simple as that. Don't forget that you are watching That's Football. You're all welcome here. So please do subscribe and share the video. Any questions you want to get in? You know, I'm here. We're here to help. So get them in. What's the best looking Premier League stadium, says Owen? Depends what you describe as best looking. I mean, I'm a traditionalist, so I still like, you know, if Highbury was still around, I'd prefer that to the Emirates. You know, I like Villa Park. I like Old Trafford. I like the tradition. I liked Goodison Park. But if you're a modernist, you'd probably say Spurs. Like Spike says, you probably would say Spurs. Yeah. What about the penalty Newcastle should have had via the handball, says Sebastian? Oh, I don't think it was a penalty. I think he makes the tackle and the ball goes up onto his arm, and in the Premier League, that's not a penalty. If it was Europe, I'd say it was a penalty, but not in the Prem. Yeah, yeah. Bayern Stadium is beautiful, unknown it is, yes. Selhurst Park's a proper ground. I'm very fortunate. I've played at Selhurst Park. I've played at Anfield. I've played at Old Trafford. I've played at Villa Park. I mean, I've probably played at more Premier League grounds than Phil Jones, when you think about it. And Mason Mount. But Leicester, I've played at Leicester, but they're not Premier League anymore. Yeah, I've done Anfield, Old Trafford, Villa Park, Selhurst Park. I mean, technically, I did have a kickabout at West Ham, but I didn't play in the game, so that doesn't... No, you're not having that. I've done all right. I've played the game, says Miz. Barcelona are going to get a tight win, says MJ. I haven't played at Goodison Park, no, because I got banned. And I'll never play at Goodison Park now. Knobheads. I was meant to play at Goodison Park, and they banned me. And now it's got knocked down. I mean, you've got to be a tier 1 knobhead to ban somebody from playing at a ground that they would love to have played at. But... you know, I know. The thing is, I never got the answer. I never got the reason for it either. No idea. Are they really going to demolish the San Siro, says Rajaf? Apparently so. The local authority are selling them Inter and AC Milan the ground so they can knock it down. That's apparently what is going to happen, yeah. 12:30 a.m. game, hopefully a good one, says Vanch. Yeah, shout out, let us know where you're watching from around the world. Let us know where you're watching from. Who scored in the Newcastle game? I will tell you who scored. I think Anthony Gordon scored because I've seen a picture of him celebrating. Unless he's celebrating an assist. No, he got 2 goals, both penalties. Harvey Barnes and Voltemeda. He's a steady goal scorer at Voltemeda, isn't he? He does consistently get a goal, you know. Martin's in Texas, Dallas. Owen's in Malaga. Francis is in Manchester. Your mum's flip-flop is in Australia. Shimelis is in Ethiopia. There we go. And Panos is in Athens, Greece. Let's go Olympiacos. Just a little bit of a background on Greece, by the way. It's a cracking film. But I want to tell you where Olympiacos are in that league. They're top. They've played 5, they've won 4, they've drawn 1. So they are top with AAK Athens. But I think it should be quite a straightforward game for Arsenal, really, at the Emirates, London. We're in London, aren't we? So, yeah, we've got a double watch-along tonight. Featured game has to be Barcelona PSG, the champions of Europe, against many people's pick to be the champions of Europe. So it's a big game tonight. Make sure you share the video. Everybody, got nearly 5,000 watching. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And who is the referee for the Barcelona versus PSG game? Well, it's not Trossard. He was working last night. Michael Oliver. How does he get a job? You know, his agent must be Jermaine Genius's agent. I mean, I don't know how he gets work. I really don't. VAR, Jared Gillette. Wow. Wow. Arsenal haven't kicked off, Caden, yet. They kick off at 8 o'clock. So we've got some cracking games, actually, to keep an eye on. I'm just going to go to a different app for the goals because I get them a lot quicker this way. Let's go there. Yeah, so Barcelona PSG, Arsenal Olympiacos, Dortmund against Bilbao, Leverkusen at home to PSV, Monaco at home to Man City, Napoli at home to Sporting, and Villarreal at home to Juventus. I think there's some interesting... What I like about tonight is some interesting games like Italy against Portugal, Napoli Sporting, Spain against Italy, Villarreal Juventus, France against the Premier League, Monaco Man City, the German League against the Dutch League, Leverkusen against PSV, the German League against the Spanish League, Dortmund, Atletico Bilbao. So interesting because, of course, Athletic Madrid smacked up Frankfurt last night. So it'd be interesting to see how everybody does. I think Dortmund will be too strong for Bilbao. I think Dortmund have had a very good start to the season. In fact, when you look at the Dortmund side, this is the Dortmund side at the moment. So you've got Kobel, Bentabani, Anton, Sully, Rierson, Svensson, Bellingham, Sabitzer, Adeyemi, Chukwuemeka, Garassi. They're looking good. They're looking very good. But let's see how we get on. Anyway, we should be about ready to start now. TUS Raid, thank you for everybody who's come over from the United Stand. Great show by Terry. I was at Seb's training tonight, so I couldn't do the 7 o'clock. Tell you what, he's getting good at the old passing. I tell you that. I'm very impressed. He's got that. If he had his best trait is definitely his right foot passing and stamina. 60% of you've gone with the Barcelona win, 13% going with the draw, and 27% going with the PSG win. What did they do in their first games? Well, Barcelona beat Newcastle. I can't remember what PSG did. Who do I think is going to win? I think Barcelona are very good at the moment. I was very impressed with them against Newcastle at St James's Park. Yeah. Okay, love you, Goldbridge, says Bacon XL. Thank you very much. Appreciate your super chats. You can do that through the $sign. We'll read them out. Right, let me get ready with this timer. Have you picked a multivitamin yet? No, I completely forgot about that. What am I looking at now? Vibrators. I'm joking. I'm joking. Of course I'm not. What would I do with one of them? What am I looking at? I was looking at Christmas lights today. I mean, does anybody else do that? When you get a spare 10 minutes, you start Googling stuff to buy? Yeah. Let me just do that. Okay. Christmas present, says Owen. Oh, I do like Christmas. I just don't like the presents aspect of it. It comes around to, the older you get, the quicker time goes. And we also live, there we go, start second half. I think we live in a time now where the physical present is diminished. Like when I, you know, even like 20 years ago, you could say to your gran, oh, I'll have The Office on DVD, or I'll have an Oasis CD or whatever like that. You can't do that anymore. I mean, I can't do that anymore anyway because my gran's passed, but I mean, like, you can't do that anymore. You can't get a physical DVD. You can't get a physical CD. And I think Christmas is always better when you've got presents to open. So, yeah. And it's difficult, like, that. Is Amrim gone? Says Wolf Wolf. Not unless he's passed in the night. Sorry, he's been sacked in the night. Thinking about my gran. Good play here by Yamal. Looking forward to watching Yamal tonight. Lovely play by Yamal. Oh, lovely play by Yamal. Lovely play by Yamal. Torres. And I tell you what, that was exciting. That's what we're here for. Patrick says, what's your best and worst Christmas present? Best Christmas present was, I had loads. I wasn't spoiled. I just had some good Christmas stuff. Like, I remember getting He-Man. That's not like a gay thing. It was, I didn't wake up and he was there at the end of my bed. He-Man. No, it was like Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and a load of figures. I got them one year. One year I got the Lego pirate ship and the castle. That was good. Mega Drive one year. Sabutio another year. Massive load of it. But I think my favourite one was probably the Amiga 500 Plus when I got Sensible World of Soccer. That was just amazing. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning playing that. Brilliant. Worst Christmas present, tape recorder. Expected an Amiga, got a tape recorder with now something CD. Anyway, good start to this game. Sega Mega Drive was brilliant. Yeah, it was the equivalent of a PS5 basically back in the day. Although I saw a clip the other day for FIFA 98. Oh my God, the gameplay is shit. But at the time, it would have been immense. Would you change anything in the Champions League, says it's Louis? Yes, I'd put Man United in it. Yeah, well, I would. I know. Look, people call me a moaner. I think I'm like you. If something good happens, I will say it's good. But not a lot of good things do happen in the modern day. People make stupid decisions. Jokeres is in down the left-hand side here. Yeah, people make stupid decisions. And so we very rarely get anything to be positive about. But I do like the Champions League. I wasn't sure about it, but I do like it. Arsenal have started off very, very well here against Olympiacos. I think FIFA soundtracks were brilliant back in the day anyway. I used to know loads of songs because of it. What FIFA was it? Was it Stop Dreaming of the Quiet Life because it's the one they'll never know? Oh, Stop Apologize. I think it must have been like 2000 or 2001. What do you think Man United would do in the Champions League? Oh, we'd be an embarrassment, mate. We'd absolutely be terrible. There was a Miss Dynamite song. Whatever happened to her? Artists that disappeared. Miss Dynamite. What was it? Eagle Eye Jerry? Wasn't he Nina Cherry's brother or something? I remember somebody saying to me a few years ago, wow, David Bowie hasn't released any music in ages. I said, he's dead. They went, when? I said, what do you mean when? It wasn't like it wasn't big news at the time. PSV are leading against Leverkusen. Leverkusen. It's being VAR reviewed though. We'll come back to that. Can Seb play midfield? Asking for a friend, says Evan. I mean, he's only 8, so he might struggle, but he's more of a midfielder than bloody Bruno. Peter says, when a baby is born, is mass added to the earth or does it stay the same, lad? Hey, don't be asking me stuff like that, Peter. Do I look like a bloody scientist? PS goal was offside. PSV goal was offside, says Ben. It was offside. 8,000 watching. Thanks, everyone. Please share the video. I've upset a few people in the chat who didn't realise David Bowie was dead. Well, you're just like my mate then. Idiots. How can you not know that David Bowie died? I remember driving in my car when they were talking about it on the radio and they put Under Pressure on with him and Freddie Mercury, and I thought, both dead. And I thought, what a great song. What a great tribute. Did you ever write to Jim Will Fix It, says PM? Nah, I never liked him. I've told this story before. I never liked Michael Jackson's music and I never liked Jimmy Savile. As a kid, I just didn't like them. Now, you know, whether that's because I had some sort of radar, I don't know. Didn't like Philip Schofield either. Mainly because I couldn't stand Gordon the Gopher, who, let's be honest, he hasn't. There are no allegations against him. He is just a puppet. There's one or two Michael Jackson songs I like, but I just never really got into it. Good start by Barcelona. Really good intensity, driving run here from the midfield. Pedri, fantastic player. I mean, the midfield battle here should be good because although I think PSG are missing a lot of their good players in the attack, they still have Vitinha and Neves. Oh, no, Neves is not playing. It must have been a late change. I thought Neves was in the starting lineup. They must have changed that. I'm sure Zaire Emery was on the bench and Neves was starting. So the midfield three is Ruiz, Vitinha and Zaire Emery. I'm sure Neves was starting. Answers in the chat if anyone knows. Mark Goldbridge has a gaydar. I don't think Michael Jackson or Jimmy Savile were gay. I don't think it was a gaydar. Martinelli playing well so far, says Zub. Somebody was saying to me today, how do you watch 2 games at the same time? It is difficult, but I have done it for years. I don't know how you lot do it. I mean, look, you're much better if you're just watching one game, but I do tend to keep an eye on one more than the other. What is the currency in Singapore? Don't know. Mark, any pictures of you in swimming shorts on your Insta, says Robert. I think there is, actually. I genuinely think there is. Can't even watch one game, Mark. Cost of living crisis, says Mozzo. Well, I'll keep you up to date with what's going on. Best place to meet. Driving with Goldbridge needs to return, says Matt. And it may well do. Zuta says, do you realise how cute you are? Lovely ball by Yamal. Koundé's made the overlap and good defending there. What are you doing there? Oh my God, got away with it there. PSG. Pedri nearly won it off him on the edge of the box, and it would have been a very good chance. Now they've got a chance to break. Go wide right. Hakimi. If you can't go back post because the player's offside. You're offside, mate. Get onside. Corner. You can't cross. I don't know what you're moaning at there. You see? Can you see bloody Ruiz moaning at Hakimi for the cross? You're offside, mate. Yeah, it was there, Emery, who nearly got himself into problems there. Chicken burgers is set. That's what I had for tea. Chicken burgers. Favourite dessert? Oh, I have got a sweet tooth. If you're Ramos or Lee Kang and you can't even start with all the injuries in attack, just pack your bags and find a different club to play for. Teddy, high five. I did think exactly the same. Mayula is playing, he's 19. Mbaye, number 49, is 17. But on the bench, you've got Ramos and you've got Lee Kang. So, you know, they're probably thinking, I can't start when there's no Dembele, no Doué, and no Kvaratskhelia. Good evening, Mark. Hope you've had a good day. Cross comes in. PSG! Oh, wow. He didn't score, but he nearly did. Probably should have scored. Eyes are closed. Zabani. Ilya Sabani. He's only 23 years old. I thought he was a lot older than that. He's grown his hair, hasn't he? That's why. Of course, he was at Bournemouth. They were desperate to get hold of him, PSG. Do you like Guinness, Mark? I love me a Guinness, says Evan. I do like Guinness, and I've enjoyed House of Guinness on Netflix. Thought it was a very good series, actually. I instantly knew, lovely ball into the PSG on the attack. Good play. Gyökeres! And then Martinelli. 1-0 to Arsenal. Martinelli. Gyökeres did really, really well. And Martinelli tried to let it roll in, but it hit the post, so he had to put it in himself. He could have actually pinched it before that. But Martinelli has had a good start in this game. And he ends up with a tap-in, but it's a lovely little ball into... I mean, that's feeding Gyökeres. That's exactly what he wants. He powers his way through. He gets the shot off. Keeper makes a good save. Looked like it was going to go in. Hits the post and Martinelli taps it in. 1-0 to Arsenal. But good play by Gyökeres. And I think it was Odegaard who slipped him in as well. 1-0. Arsenal. Harry says, what's your top 5 worst best managers in the league? That's 2 questions, Harry. Best managers in the league. 1-0 Barcelona. Oh, brilliant stop on the line. Zabani from Torres. Gets there ahead of the goalkeeper. Open goal, but Zabani is there to cover it off. It could have been 1-0 to Barca there as well. Good defending. Yeah, PSG are just looking a little bit toothless, but as I say, no Dembele, no Doué, no Kvaratskhelia. Where's Rafinha tonight? Don't know. He's not on the bench. Lovely pass by Yamal. Look at that. Outside of the boot. And good defending. What a player. There's good play down the wing here from PSG. Barcola. But Garcia deals with him. Yeah, they're a little bit light up front to be expected, PSG. Barcelona not, though. Rashford. Do you think Rashford will stay at Barcelona? Let's do a poll. I don't know that. I think it's way too early to say yes or no. Nice ball in again. Olmo. Good defending. There you go. Do you think Barca will keep Rashford? I'm not so sure. I mean, look, if Amrim's not the manager next year, you could see him coming back again. I don't think that's good for either party, by the way, to go back and try again. But I could see it happening. Haaland has scored for Man City. They're 1-0 up against Monaco. The only, in fact, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games tonight. We've only had 2 goals, and they're both English clubs. Haaland for Man City away to Monaco, and Arsenal 1-0 up through Martinelli. Teddy says, crazy to think how different we could have looked had we won the Europa and got the Champions League money. Gyökeres and Humlen could come and transform us. You're talking about Man United, aren't you, Teddy? I'm not surprised PSG have picked up injuries, though. I mean, bloody hell. The amount of football them and Chelsea have played in the last 12 months. It's just incredible. It really is. Good play down the wing. And is he giving a corner? Corner. Corner to PSG. Mbappé's only 17 years old. He's only 17 years old. I will not bury another Batman. 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 Monaco 1-1. Instantaneous reply. Corner, PSG. That's going out for a goal kick. Yep, 1-1. Teze. Monaco. How are Monaco doing? Well, the 1-1 against Man City. But French Ligue 1, they are 4th place at the moment. They have lost 2 and won 4. They're 3 points off the top in 4th place. What's happening with Pogba? I presume he's injured. Rashford. Good cross. Good goal. Onside. Lovely cross by Rashford. Lovely finish by Torres. Quick play by Barcelona. They've got the goal they deserve to get at the start of the game. Vitinha, I think, makes a mistake. Really quick from Barcelona here. I mean, you love to see how fast. I mean, I watch Man United week in, week out. We're so bloody slow at moving the ball, but you can't deal with this type of stuff. Vitinha loses the ball. And then Yamal into Pedri, wide to Rashford. Look at the way Torres times his run. It's poor defending by PSG because for Rashford, that's quite a straightforward pass, but Torres just keeps himself onside. I don't know what the centre-backs are doing, but good finish by Torres. Good assist by Rashford. Lovely ball by Pedri to there. I call that a training ground goal. The efficiency with the way they made that goal there. 1-0 to Barca. Top 5 worst managers in the league, Mark. I haven't done top 5 best. Top 5 best managers in the league, I would say it's close between Arteta, Slot and Pep. They'd be my top 3. Oh, what a save. Raya. Olympiacos nearly scored a great goal there. World-class save by Raya, that. Lovely cross. Player attacks it. Hits it on the volley. Places it towards the top corner. Tipped over the bar by Raya. Fantastic save. Well, 60% of you looking right here. You did say Barcelona would win, and PSG... We were saying before the goal, a lot of football. It's a lot of football to play, isn't it? That Club World Cup, especially for PSG and Chelsea, right the way through it. No real summer, straight back into competitive football. I don't think PSG will win it. Past his peak, Neuer or peak Bayenda? Neuer, Zuta, 100%. There's no such thing as peak Bayenda. The Rashford hate from you says for mate, there's weirdos out there who clip me up every time Rashford does something. Like, it was a brilliant pass. It was a brilliant goal. They moved it really quick. It was a good goal. You know, clip that up and turn it into something hate, you know. It's like people who say I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Do I want him back at Man United? No. Is he doing well at Barcelona? Yes. Is that good for Man United? Yes. I said the minute he went, I hope he does well at PSG, at Barca. I'm not doing, I must admit, I'm finding some of your comments really boring. Top worst managers in the league, boring. Top 5 kits in the Premier League, really boring. I'm sorry, if you want debate and conversation, at least come up with something that's interesting. Top 5 kits in the Premier League. Man's touching 50. I couldn't give a shit. Professional footballer makes simple pass, world-class chat nonsense. I thought it was... No, I thought, you know, as a Man United fan, Rashford doesn't do that. He hasn't done that for years, so credit where it's due. It was a good, quick pass where normally he might take a touch and shoot. United fans know. So, you know, you've got to give credit. It was a disciplined pass, and it was a good pass. Trisfit says, what's your top 5 colours? I'd rather answer that than what my top 5 kits are. Anyway, the question was, do you think Barcelona will keep Rashford? 63% say yes, 37% say no. I think, to me, the price they're getting him for, they should do. And it's not like they're massively wealthy. I think there's a good chance they'll keep him. I always felt he would do well in the league because he's surrounded by really good players, and that'll benefit him in training, and it'll also benefit him in the league. Lovely ball in here. Could be 1-1. He's gone way too wide. What is he doing there? Barcola. Game is the game, says Christopher Nolan versus Martin Scorsese. Scorsese wins every day of the week. Oh, yeah. A lovely ball by Rashford, but Torres there keeps himself onside really well. I don't know what the PSG defence is doing, by the way. Harry says, my apologies, Mark. Enjoy your evening. You could tell us... You know what you could do, Harry? You could tell us your top worst managers in the league. Koundé down the right-hand side. Good defending. Worst purchase you've ever made, says Richard Roberts. I've had a few. They keep showing the Raya save. It was good. I'd say Barcelona and PSG and Arsenal look like the 3 best teams in Europe at the moment. Pedri, good feet. Football community needs Klopp back managing again. No more of this Trivago travel commercials on telly, please, says Ty. Do you think Klopp will come back into management? I think it's a weird one for me. He's majestic, Pedri, you know. I just love watching Pedri play. Love watching him play. I just think he's just a joy to watch. Really do. His balance, his passing, his dribbling, his, you know, magnetic control. People say he's like Iniesta, and I understand that, but I actually think he's a little bit quicker than Iniesta. You know, Iniesta and Xavi go to the games, but I think Pedri moves quicker. I just love watching him. Yeah, the thing about Klopp coming back is that it felt like Liverpool was the perfect fit, and it was just too... It took too much out of him. I saw something about Saudi the other day. What they're bloody... If that's a penalty... No, it won't be a penalty. Touchpad says they give you 500 million to rebuild United. What would you do? I'll take the job. Oh, in and about the box. Cleared away. Rashford shoots into the crowd. The Barcelona player goes down in the box. And PSG break away here. Now you could go back post. Barcola. And that's a corner. And Barcelona are furious because they've got a man down. There's a man down. There's a man down. And Mayolo carried on and had a shot. Nah, there's no penalty there. What the bloody hell are you on about? We did kick him, though. He did actually kick him. Check over, no penalty, play on. I'd like to see that in a slow-mo because I thought he might have kicked him, but it's not been given anyway. Corner to PSG. Could have been a penalty, I just didn't see the replay. Oh, that's a foul. Yeah. Looks a good player, this Mbappe. Only 17. What's the scores in the other games? Well, Monaco's 1-1 with Man City. Dortmund are 1-0 up against Bilbao. Svensson. Leverkusen are 0-0 with PSV. Man City are 1-1 with Monaco. Villarreal are beating Juventus 1-0. Mikhail Tadzi. Anyway, free kick to PSG. Hakimi's on it. Whips it in. Good save. Chesney goes out for a corner. Defining characteristics of a legendary football match, says Edgar. I think the defining characteristics of a legendary football match are, you know, end-to-end, two evenly matched teams, plenty of goals, plenty of good saves, plenty of good individual performances, and plenty of good football. I think that's the ingredients of a legendary game. Because you can look at the Champions League final last year where PSG were amazing, but it was one-sided, wasn't it? English ref tonight, expect some howlers. We know they like the limelight after review, says Harry. International 2675, I'm blocking you, sorry. And defining characteristics of legendary football match. Yeah, I've done that one, thank you. Will we ever see you in the States again? Loved it, says Aaron Jones. Yes. Yes. And DK says, how has the Bundesliga been? Any black horse picks for the Germans to get far in the Champions League? I think Bayern, that wouldn't be a black horse. But I think that maybe Dortmund. Who you got to win in the Champions League, Mark, says Num. I think a Premier League club. Favourite snooker player, Mark, was always Stephen Hendry. And what's your favourite catchphrase, says Gailey? I don't really have one. Die Hard, Alien, or Terminator? Well, I prefer Aliens to Alien. Die Hard out of those three. Animal Charity Channel. Good feet by Rashford, but he's tackled. Oh, look at that by Mendes. Look at this by Mendes. Lovely run. He's going to need to find a pass. Oh, that's going to be a yellow card. Be stunned if Michael Oliver doesn't book Frankie de Jong for that. It was an amazing run by Mendes. Yeah, he will have hurt him there. Trud right on the back of his ankle. Would you rather Man United beat Liverpool in the Champions League final or England beat Germany in the World Cup final? Man United. I don't care about England that much, Jamie. RT says, as an American, I hate the NFL going international but understand the financial need. Do you see European football Premier League going that route to support transfer fees and league growth? Love from Alabama. I think at some point there will be... some people are saying that should have been a red. Didn't look like a red to me. I think that there will be, at some point, games in the... played in America, etc. Didn't look like a red card to me. A few people are saying it should have been a red on by De Jong. It didn't look like a red to me. It looked like a yellow. At no point did I think that was a red. It was a very good run by Mendes, but I don't think there was anything there. Yeah, I do think there will be games played abroad at some point. I think clubs... UEFA, FIFA, the Premier League would love to do it. They're just terrified of doing it. Have you ever considered stopping supporting Man United, says Edgar? No, because that's not proper support, is it? Starting 11 for England if you had to pick today, says Richard. I don't care enough, Richard. Sorry. I don't care enough about international football for me to be able to sit here and give you my England best 11. Ask me in the summer when it's in a summer international tournament. I actually am engaged in it, but I don't care enough. I honestly don't care enough to be able to go, wow, my goalkeeper's Pope. You know, I don't actually. To be honest, it's not even that I don't. Well, I don't care, but I wouldn't have the knowledge really to care enough. I don't watch England enough. When's FC 26 back, Mark? Says Sean. I don't know. It was meant to be back today. I'm still sort of... I don't know what I've had. Maybe it was COVID. I don't know what it was. But I still don't feel 100% every day. So I'm just sort of doing what I can at the moment. Pavan says, why is Michael Oliver officiating games? Because you have to. There has to be an English representative, doesn't there? I think Anthony Taylor does it as well. But Arsenal 1-0 up. Barcelona 1-0 up. Thanks for your super chat, Sean and Richard Richard Roberts. Corner to Arsenal here. They're good at corners. Oh, I thought he'd scored there. Gabriel on the back post. Right, nice ball out wide. And Bay. Good feet. Nah, bad pass. 12,000 watching, absolute legends. Thanks everyone for tuning in. 37 minutes gone. Kieran says it's so annoying having a striker that doesn't get passed to or score. Who are you talking about? I think Arsenal do need to learn to play to Gyökeres. I don't think, you know, that was always something we mentioned before. Arsenal need an out-and-out striker, and they've got one now, but they haven't had one for so long. Do they actually know how to play to one? Edgar says, but do you imagine when you don't care for Man United anymore? No, again, I don't really think that's what loving football is all about. To love football, you've got to have a team to support, and therefore you will always keep an eye on them, I presume. Napoli have scored. Rasmus, De Bruyne with the assist. Haven't seen it. Don't know if it was any good. Ty says, we need more collabs with Loz, purely for the banter, but also the football knowledge. I like doing stuff with Loz. Connor says, I played six-a-side on Monday after 10 years and my legs only started working again. Oh, mate. You know when you lovely play down the left-hand side, Mendes. Need some support. Lovely ball. Lovely goal. 1-1. Brilliant play. Lovely goal by PSG. We've got a great game on our hands here. Mayula scores it, but Mendes sets it up. And this is a brilliant game. A brilliant game. Absolutely loving it. Two attacking teams. What a game we've got here. Really did well. Flick's not very happy, but I think sometimes you've just got to bow down to the fact that we're being treated to a good game of football here. Some really good play. Mendes powering forward again like he did a few minutes ago. Frankie de Jong can't commit because he's on a yellow. Slips it into the striker and he takes it really well. He does the keeper with the eyes there. Lovely play by Mayula. It's just a good goal. Both goals have been really clean, really efficient, really clean, really good passing, really good finishing. A treat for the eyes here. Lovely goal by PSG. Lovely goal by Barcelona. Really good game of football. It's living up to what I thought and hoped it would be tonight. Loving it. Hope you are as well. Tremendous game, says the Attic Radio. Yeah, brilliant. Loving it. So 1-1, 7 minutes to half time. Top 5 sauces, Mark, says Gareth Southgate. Well, I used to love barbecue sauce. Used to absolutely love it. Used to go, my order at McDonald's was always Big Mac, fries, and a strawberry milkshake. And I went through a phase of McChicken sandwich just to put barbecue sauce on it. So I used to love barbecue sauce, but I don't really know if I do anymore. I like sweet chili sauce. Love that. Ketchup is obviously a staple. So I like bread sauce on a turkey dinner. Is that a sauce? I don't know. I like horseradish sauce. I'm a saucy kind of guy, you know. Lovely running by Mendes, though. Lovely finish. Just a very good goal. Have you watched the film Crash, says Jason Marsh? If it's the one I think it is, it's quite old, isn't it? It's got Ryan Felipe in it. Whatever happened to him? What a bad finish. It was dead centre. I thought it was a brilliant finish because the keeper was done with the eyes by the player. MUFC says, can we do a divisive poll? Club before country. Or club... Okay. I know how to do it, don't worry. What is more important to you? Club or country? If there was a Mark Goldbridge Cup, says Ross McRae Magician, what clubs would play in the tournament other than Man United, and how would you want it to work? You know what? I used to play it years ago on FIFA. I used to do a 16. I used to do a 16, best 16 club teams in the league, in the world. 4 groups of 4. Top 2 go through. Then you're straight into the quarterfinals. It could be. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Barcola. The proof, the clue was in the name. Lovely play. Could have been 2-1. From there, he should score, but needs to keep it low. Yeah, so, yeah, the Goldbridge Cup, I used to play it, as I said, and it would be, 16 teams, 4 groups of 4. Top 2 go through. Happy days. Speaking of FIFA, when's the legendary Goldbridge CM coming back? I'm hoping to get it back, Teddy, either tomorrow or Friday. Monkey says, most surprising celebrity death. In a way, it's a great question. Pineapple on pizza, yes, Columbus. Thoughts on doing Pratt of the Week segment on you and Robbie's prediction videos, is Connor. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Steve Irwin was quite a surprise, yeah. Kobe Bryant, yeah, good one as well. Heath Ledger, yeah. I don't think Amy Winehouse necessarily was a surprise, Liam. It was very tragic, but I don't think it was necessarily a surprise. George Michael was quite a surprise as well, yeah. We're talking surprising celebrity deaths. It's like a radio call-in for that. I mean, that really is an Alan Partridge radio category, that is. Man City have scored. They're going to be 2-1 up. Just waiting on confirmation. Cracking game, this. What games you doing at the weekend? Well, definitely. Well, it's going to be a quick turnaround because I've got Man United against Sunderland on the United Stand at 3. Then I've got to do a match reaction and get onto here for 5:30 for the kickoff of Chelsea-Liverpool, which I think is going to be a great game. And Sunday's games, I'm probably going to do the 2 o'clocks because the 4:30 is crap. Is it like Brentford, Man City? God. Rashford down the left-hand side at pace. Lovely bit of skill. Can he get the cross right? Nearly, nearly. Put it in the right area. That's all you can do. You put it in the right area. Corner to Barcelona. Into the side netting. Well, I'd say it's a fair score at half-time. I think PSG have responded really, really well. I did feel when Barcelona went 1-0 up, it could move. In their direction. Rashford was nearly in there. Now Pedri. Into Yamal. Torres. Yamal. Good block. Pedri again. Yamal. Good feet. Almost skins himself there. I think Haaland scored again for Man City because people are talking about Haaland or Kane. Lovely feet by good tackle, Mendes. Lovely feet, free kick. Yeah, Haaland's got both goals. 2-1. He's on fire at the moment. People say, can Man City win the league? Edgar says, did you ever consider managing professionally? Funnily enough, no. What do we need to do to get Onana back, says Jeff? Nothing. Don't get Onana back. Stupid. I see Prattman is a disaster at his new club, says Eddie Mack. I don't know whether he is or not. Connor says, I've only just found out that David Bowie's dead today. Who died recently? And I was like, I thought they died ages ago. Oh, literally somebody died in the last few days, and I was like, I genuinely thought they died ages ago. I'll tell you what, I'll be able to find out. Half time anyway. This... Yeah, that was it. Giorgio Armani. He died in September. I thought he'd been dead for years. We were literally driving out for a Sunday lunch and it said it on the telly. Maybe it wasn't a Sunday, maybe it was a whatever day. Anyway, they said he died. And I remember I was at a roundabout and I went round the roundabout, like vividly remember saying, well, that's a bonus because for him, because I thought he'd died ages ago. And then the person I was in the car with said, what are you talking about? How can it be a bonus? He doesn't even know you. Not to be sat there going, oh, well, you know, Goldbridge thought I died 10 years ago. Bonus. You know, he's died. It's sad. I went, well, no, I know, but I thought he died about 10 years ago. So, in a way, it is a bonus. Yeah, I was convinced Giorgio Armani died a long time ago. I'm glad I know. I'm glad I remembered who that was, actually. Because, yeah, I definitely... We're talking celebrities you didn't realise were still alive. Or celebrities you didn't realise were dead. Either or. Absolutely fine. Shane Warne was a very sudden, surprising death. We're also talking celebrities' deaths that were quite shocking. Onana had an absolute howler in his last game. Sadly, that will never get reported since, according to the media, every United player that gets sold does well, says Perk. Fair point. Valdemeda, Gyökeres or Sesko, who will score more goals this season? And if you had a choice now, who would you take? Says Nathan. I like what I've seen of Voltemeda. We obviously have live Bundesliga coverage on a Friday night, so I'd heard a lot about Voltemeda at Stuttgart, and I was looking forward to watching him. Obviously, he then signed for Newcastle, so I'm sort of learning as much as everybody else. Gyökeres I do like, and Sesko, I think it's difficult to say out of those three who's going to do best. I'd probably still take Gyökeres out of the three. Yeah. Who was a 1,000th player to be captain for England? England haven't had 1,000 captains, Mark. You've messed that one up. Rasmus scored, Mark says, I'm powered by Honda. Yusuf says, Mark, rank these YouTube footballers 1 to 3. Chris MD, Young Philly, or Theo Baker. What, as footballers? Well, I've managed all three of them. That's quite easy. That is quite easy. They're all pretty good for YouTube footballers. Easy. I think that's quite easy. I think everybody would get this. Young Philly number 3, Chris MD number 2, Theo Baker number 1. Easy. Yeah. Seeing these types of goals, says Vidbor, makes me realise how much I miss old United. It's not just missing the big trophies, but also just magical team goals, says Vidbor. Good football! Good football! Rick Mail, says Kenneth. Yeah, that was tragically out of the blue. I think if you're an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan or a Man City fan or even a Brighton fan, the thing you will never understand about Man United fans is that we are bad, but if I said to you in 10 years, I can't give you 5 good performances, I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. We don't play good football. It's not just the results, we don't play good football. Like, no Man United fan can talk about 5 90-minute games in 10 years that we've played a good game. We just play shit all the time. The standard of football is crap. It really is. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. That's football. You're all welcome on here. Talking about Bundesliga live on Friday night, so 48 hours. We'll have live footage on the channel, as always. Hoffenheim, Cologne. And tomorrow afternoon, I'll be doing the live highlights show where we get all the goals from last week and tell all the story ahead of the weekend. So get involved in that. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 429,000, 1.429. Thank you for everybody for tuning in as always. Absolute legends. Thank you very much for your super chats. Fantastic game, Barcelona against PSG. It's been a real, it's lived up to it, you know. As I said, I think that, you know, normally we'd probably be watching Arsenal because Arsenal are playing, Man City are playing Monaco, but it just shows you the enormity of this game. It's a universally big game in football when the PSG are playing Barcelona now. And I think that's a testament to Hansi Flick and Luis Enrique that they've created 2 football clubs that, you know, in a footballing sense, people want to watch. And that when they play each other, people want to watch it. And it's definitely lived up to that. I mean, Pedri is a bloody magician in that midfield. Yamal, obviously, is a player that you just want to watch. And there are a lot of other good players in that Barcelona side. And then for PSG, I mean, personally, I think they're a better team collectively tonight. But Nuno Mendes has been fantastic at left back. And their young lads up front have done very well. Yeah. But, look, I think if PSG can get anything out of this game, it'll be a real positive for them because, you know, Barcelona do look like one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. How about the game against Chelsea with Ten Hag, says Yusuf. What a good game. I think Ten Hag had a good game against Barcelona as well in the Nou Camp. I thought we played well then. I reckon Sunderland are going to do a job on United, says Stuart. Don't need to apologise, Stuart. Here's one, says Nick P. At what age is dying of natural causes acceptable? Sometimes you hear a young person dying of it and think, what's going on there, says Nick P. I mean, this is going a bit south, Nick. This is going a little bit south. Didn't George Michael die of natural causes even though he was in his 50s? So, yeah, death has no age, says RD. No, you're right. It doesn't. If you could have at United one goalkeeper, defender, midfielder and attacker from last year's top four, who would you take? Alisson in goal. I have to take one from each. No, that's too complicated. Alisson in goal. My defender would probably be Saliba. My midfielder would be Rodri. And my attacker would be... I suppose it'd be Haaland, wouldn't it? Or Salah. David says, Man United could have had Mendes instead of Dorgu in January. I don't think we could. I think we wanted Mendes instead of Dorgu in January, but I don't think the deal was ever on. Only good United game recently was that night against PSG. This is Evan Whelan. Apparently Odegaard's having a good game for Arsenal. Yeah, just to round up the half times, I think I had gone through them anyway. Arsenal 1-0 up against Olympiacos, as we know. PSG, Barcelona 1-1. Dortmund 1-0 up against Bilbao. Leverkusen, PSV 0-0. Monaco are losing to Man City 2-1. Napoli are beating Sporting 1-0 and Villarreal are beating Juventus 1-0. If you're interested in the Championship, Coventry are beating Millwall 1-0 away. Norwich are losing to West Brom 1-0 and Portsmouth are drawing with Watford and QPR are 0-0 with Oxford. I'd like to own a football club. I think that's my next thing. I would like to have... I don't know whether I'd like to own a football club, but I'd like to be part of a consortium. I very, very nearly did do it, actually. It's not a lie. It nearly did happen. The premise of it was that it was around the time I did like sidemen managing, etc. So there was like this whole Goldbridge ball thing. And the premise of the idea was that somebody had the sort of money and I was going to be the sort of noise, you know? It wasn't going to be like Wrexham or something like that, but the plan was they had the sort of business and, you know, side of it, and I would be the noise behind it. You know, I think it would have been interesting. I probably will do it at some point. Why didn't you do it? It was, you know, the big problem is it wasn't local. It was too far away, and yeah, it would, you know, I don't do things by halves, so it was just too much travelling and stuff. Mark, please buy Colchester United. It's up for sale. You'd be great, says Darren. I'd love to be involved with Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, that is quite far away, but I think it's an iconic club. Stranded on an island, you can only take 3 movies, says Drax. Well, I'd definitely have to take Heat, because I watch that every year and I love it. I'd take Die Hard, because I've watched that film so many times and I keep watching it. So those 2 films are just films that I just can't stop watching. Third one, I don't know, maybe The Godfather. Maybe The Godfather there. Would you invest in #United, says Fraser. That's quite a bit of travelling for me as well. Is Conte underrated and Mourinho overrated, says Cats for Life. No. Mourinho's better than Conte, so. Is United so toxic? I see Rasmus and Rashford play well, says JB. No, this question can be really simplistic and it can be really in-depth. So some people think it's not the player's fault. They automatically play bad at Man United and then they go and play somewhere else, so it's not the player's fault. That's not true. You put Lionel Messi in a Man United shirt, he'd still play well. What it is, it's mentality. So these players still have a responsibility to do well at Manchester United because they're good footballers. But there's something at Man United that prevents them being able to do that, that makes them stop believing, that makes them stop trying in some cases. And then what happens is you go to a different... And not everybody's the same. Rasmus at Napoli is not the same as Anthony at Betis, or Sancho at Villa, or Rashford at Barcelona, or Garnacho at Chelsea. Everybody's different because everybody's different. But what happens is you leave Manchester United, which is a terribly run football club, and you go to somewhere like Barcelona or Chelsea or Napoli, which is a well-run football club, and suddenly you feel better. The pressure is off. And there's an element of, I want to prove people wrong as well. The most powerful incentive in life that I've ever experienced is proving people wrong. Some people thrive on this, proving people wrong. How many people have you broken up with for the right reason and then they completely change? And you see them a couple of years later and they're like, if you'd have been like that when I went out with you, I'd still have dumped you, but it would have been a bit better. How many people have you seen leave a job where they were shit at it and then they go and work somewhere else and they're suddenly doing really well and you go, how? How? And that's a massive factor. People who aren't motivated can get motivated by a move, proving people wrong. So there's many different aspects to it, but certainly Man United's a shit-run club, and it's not conducive to. I think it's gonna be very interesting what happens with Mbeumo and Cunha. If those two players drop off, it's gonna be, that will stun me really. Thank you very much to Evan. Was live in the TalkSport studio Sunday talking about United and played live. I wish I'd have worn my United stand merch now, says Will Scott. What, Will? Was live in the TalkSport studio Sunday talking about United and played live. Oh, I know who you are now, I've just realised. Yes, Will, you should have worn that. They'd have asked you to take it off. They know who we are. They copy everything we bloody do. Is Conte... I've done that one. I hope you're doing well, Will, anyway. You could shout out your band if you want. I don't know whether he wants me to. Players coming out for the second half. Let's get the timer ready. Barcelona and Chelsea are not well run. Chelsea has money, billion, and fourth place finish. Barcelona is still Le Messiah FC and being in debt FC. No, cats for life. I think you're not listening, are you? I can't waste my time with literal people. Barcelona won the league last year and got to the Champions League semi-final. Chelsea got into the top four and won the Club World Cup. I didn't ask for their bank balance. Are they better run clubs than Manchester United? Yes, because they're focused on being football clubs. Second half, bang. Let's move. Rasmus scored for Napoli, says Frederick, who's just had the news by pigeon. We spoke about it half an hour ago. Darren Smith says, bet you would buy Forest. No, I wouldn't. Do you think Sesko's ceiling is higher than what Gyökeres is right now? Well, his ceiling in his house will be, because he's definitely taller. Mate, I don't really care about that. The ceiling of Sesko and the ceiling of Gyökeres. It's babyish for me. It's quite childish. It's sort of like my striker's better than your striker. Where are Arsenal in the league? Where are Arsenal in the Champions League? Where are Man United in the league? Where are Man United in the Champions League? The only victory I'm interested in is what we do as a team. Are you ever going back on the football fill-in, says Jack? I'm sure I will at some point. Anyway, second half's up and running. Both games. We'll keep you abreast with that. No, I can't afford a football club, Maps. That's no, I wouldn't buy it myself. It would have to be some sort of, you know. Ty says, I swear down you could invest in Solihull Moors. I just went to see if I could buy Solihull Moors. They said no. Going to ring his accountant, Sam. How much would that? I'm not ready to do it at the moment, but let's ask how much is Solihull Moors worth? How much is Ollie Moors worth? How much is Solihull Moors worth? According to AI, turnover under $1 million and a balance sheet under 500 in one filing. No, that's not why I asked. Wrexham was bought by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney for a reported figure of $2 million in 2021. But Oldham Athletic was reportedly sold for around $12 million in 2022. It's a lot of money. You don't buy a football club to make money either. Have to get a consortium. Will Scott says, well, there you go, Will. Will Scott, drummer in the band The Now. He says, cheeky shout out for The Now is always appreciated. Always happy to do it, mate. It's just sometimes people are like, you know, they don't want the attention. But there you go. Thanks to Will. Default 66 says, buy a football club and hire me as sporting director. It'll be the best decision you ever do. If I got hold of a football club, I'd just go live. Who's in the team at the weekend? What players should we buy? It'd be brilliant. It'd be like a real life football manager. Not related to these two games, but seeing Rasmus scoring consistently for Napoli so far has absolutely cemented the lack of service thing for United. Rasmus looks good with a decent team behind him. Well, it was De Bruyne who got the assist today, wasn't it? Thank you, Jace. Lee Berman says the twist in the story is Goldbridge was going to join Gary Neville's consortium at Salford. You've ruined it! You've ruined it. Captain to Mbermo, mentality is clear, says Liam. Barcelona probing here. I'd like to say PSG are, you know, soaking up the pressure to counter, but you look at how they creep up their line. Their defensive line really does push up. They're not really looking to counter. Kelly says Juve have just scored goal of the season. I haven't seen it, Kelly, but if you're right, Gatti scored it. Scissor kick of the highest quality, apparently. PSG on the attack again. Mbaye, still Mbaye, couldn't get the shot off, but exciting player. Would you do the Poznan at an Oasis concert? No, I hate the Poznan. Ninja. I absolutely hate the Poznan. I think it's an absolute shite celebration, and it's nothing to do with Man City. I mean, like, what I mean is, it doesn't matter to me whether Man City or Liverpool do it. Or even Man United do it. I hate it. Look at the poll, Mark. I'm quite surprised by the poll. What's more important to you, club or country? 76% have gone with club. I thought more people cared about their country. No, I didn't think they'd be more than club, but I thought it might be closer. I thought it might be 55-45. I don't know whether international football is degraded or it's a long time since an international tournament. I think if we asked that question in the summer, it would be better. They're on the break again here, PSG. Lovely ball. Barcola. It's got stuck under his feet. Does well. Good shot, straight at Chesney. But PSG on the break look very good. Zaire Emery crosses it. Barcola cleared away. Players leaving, like Rasmus, needs managers that use them correctly to have De Bruyne help, says Michael, veteran. Mark, ask AI, when is Man United next projected to win the Premier League on current form? Just for laughs. Hakimi. He's into the box, Hakimi. Blocks, corner. Good couple of minutes this for PSG. I whack it into AI and it just says they're not projected to win it this year. No shit, Sherlock. Cheapest National League teams are $250,000 to $5 million, says Alexander. Neil says, do you think the PGMOL is the problem because Oliver's having a good game? And Jide says, Blink 182 versus Sum 41 versus Green Day. And Linford says, have you checked with AI who's the best manager United had since Ferguson? And do you think United dodged a bullet with Gyökeres? I'm going to ask it that. I don't think Man United dodged a bullet with Gyökeres. I like Gyökeres, Linford. Same people who are saying that Wirtz is going to flop as well. I don't think he is a flop. I think it's too early for any of them to be a flop. Who is the best Man United manager post Sir Alex Ferguson? I think I know who the. I think I know. It depends how they answer it. I think they'll say Jose. Yeah, Jose Mourinho, number one. The two strong candidates are Mourinho and Ten Hag. But Mourinho had the highest win rate of any permanent manager post Sir Alex with 58.3. He secured the highest league position. He had the highest points per game. And he won the most trophies. It's mad that we sacked Mourinho, you know. It's the one I regret. I mean, I did say Jose out, but we didn't know about player power at the time. And since he went, player power was born in the 2 months before Mourinho got the sack. We didn't know it was going on until he'd gone. And I regret that. And I think a lot of United fans regret that. But how did we sack a manager with a win percentage of 58.3? I think we fucked up. I think we fucked up massively on that one. I really do. Rashford down the wing. Good tackle, Sabiani. Juve have scored again. They're 2-1 up now against Villarreal in Villarreal. Man City still leading against Monaco 2-1. Dortmund are now 2-0 up against Bilbao. Second goal scored by Chukwuemeka. They're breaking again, PSG. That's going to be a yellow card for Dani Olmo. Start, bench, sell. Starmer, Johnson, Sunak. I don't do politics, KDB. I don't do politics. Barry Humphreys, thanks for your super chat. Yeah, Omo and Mbaye there. Definitely a yellow card. Could go either way this game. Thanks everyone who's watching. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Someone in the chat, Daniel Svensson says, why is Eze not starting? You're winning 1-0, mate. Rice didn't start. Timber didn't start. You know, you're winning 1-0. Rotation. This is, I think Arteta's rotated very well so far this season. The problem with AI is you can ask when United are not going to win the league, and it could say not this year. But if you add, we have some decent players, you start to manipulate it, what you want to hear, says Nick P. Envim says, start, bench, sell, Man City, Liverpool or Arsenal. Well, I'd start Arsenal over those three. Bench Man City and sell Liverpool based on rivalry, yeah. I think PSG have played very, very well in this game, considering I think they're going to struggle with exhaustion this season. And obviously they're already struggling with injuries. Jake Daniels, thanks for your super chat. Here's Mbaye again, up against Koundé. Bit of pressure here for Barcelona. PSG definitely in the ascendancy at the moment. And a free kick. Is it me or is every man sick? I don't know at the moment. I mean, I've definitely had something that I don't normally get very often, which is a cough, which has sort of made me feel very fatigued for about a week and a half. Gets slightly better by the day, but there's definitely something going around in the UK. Lovely feed by Mendes again, but Frenkie de Jong that time gets right in his way. To follow on about AI, a lot of people use it as a personal counsellor now for relationship advice and all sorts, but it can be very one-sided. I wouldn't use it for anything like that. I use it for comedy, I do. Like, I make it, you know, like when we asked it what United's best 11 is. Hakimi, he's not going to get there. Good defending. Good defending. And now Rashford, he's got space to run into. Ridiculously good ball out to Yamal. Yamal up against Mendes. This is where you want him. Isolation. Free kick on the edge of the box. I don't know what Michael Oliver's saying there. No, it's definitely a foul on Yamal on the edge of the box. I think it was. It's hard to tell whether he dived or not. I think Mendes is on a yellow. That's why. I think Yamal is right there to say, where's the second yellow? Rayan says, would you say Cunha is showing signs of greed, as recently he seems to just want to get his head down and shoot rather than make passes, as Rayan? I don't think Cunha and Bruno work together. I don't think they're the right fit. Christian says, same here with me. It is just the season for it, says Christian. Mark, I made a bet at work that Man United are finishing top 10 in the league this season. Do you think I'll win the bet? Says SXMZ. Well, I don't know who gave you the bet. Anyway, it's good free kick position here for Barcelona. It's right on the edge. If Messi was still there, this would be a goal. Colby says, I hate diplomatic refs. The rules are the rules. Well, I think if he's giving the free kick, he should give the yellow card, yeah. I agree. You either give the free kick or you don't. I've missed the free kick now. Yamal went over the bar. If it's a dive, it's not a free kick. If you give the free kick, it's a foul and it's a yellow card. Where I'm with Jerry is I don't know whether it was a dive or whether it was a yellow card. I'm sort of like that. Sporting have equalised against Napoli, apparently. They have. 1-1 in Naples. Suarez. Still 0-0 Leverkusen PSV. City still 2-1 up against Monaco. 1-1 Napoli Sporting. Juventus are 2-1 up at Villarreal. Dortmund is now 2-1 against Atletico Bilbao. They've brought one back with Guerrezeta. So goals starting to go in. Coventry 2-0 up against Millwall. They're doing very well under Frank Lampard. Coventry are quite local to me. Coventry are probably one of the most local teams to where I live, actually. Don't think they need my money. Good cross. This could be a goal. Dani Olmo, what a block. Yamal, what a tackle. PSG, survive again. Dani Olmo, with all the space in the world, but it's brilliant defending to block it on the line. He probably should have gone the other corner, really. Hakimi with the block. Barry says, I love the fact United are a disaster. Well, at least someone's happy. Corner to Barcelona. Into Rashford. There's going to be some subs here. Meg's on Zaire Emery. Can you see an argument for Iniesta over Zidane? What, as a player, KDB? I can see an argument, but not... I wouldn't do it. Is there a part of you that's looking forward to Pogba's return to football? I'm genuinely excited. When's he coming back, Jace? I know he signed for Monaco, but I've not heard anything about his return and when it's going to be. They said in July that they expect a 3-month process. High-level sport is a lot about science. It's not easy. Apparently they're taking their time with him. Maybe involved for the game against Nice on Sunday. No, more likely to be after the international break now. So, yeah. Mark, please change my mind, but for a fact, if United stick with Amrin for a full season, I believe they'll be favourites to go down, says Default 66. Well, let's see what happens on Saturday. He's going to get Saturday, isn't he? I think a little bit of patience from United fans, and you'll get your answer, really. I like the Champions League format. I think last year, because it was year one, it was hard to understand it. Now, because last year Real Madrid and Man City both had to play each other in the playoff, it now really does hit home how important it is to finish in the top 8. And I think teams know how important it is to finish in the top 8 now, and not all of them can be in the top 8. So I think it makes the games more interesting. Like, you know, tonight, Liverpool Galatasaray last night, you know, you can obviously afford to drop points in some games, but you don't want to finish outside the top 8. Pez says, I much preferred the groups, felt more meaningful. I think I did think that, but you know what? Going back to the group stages, I've got to say, and I'm not somebody that likes change. I think sometimes in football they change things for change's sake. But when you think back to those group games, they were very predictable. Like most of those groups, you knew the 2 teams that were going to go through. So no penalty in the Arsenal game. Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney or Salah, Mane, Firmino. Oh no, I've read that wrong, Sam. Ronaldo, Tevez or Rooney or Salah, Mane and Firmino. Well, I'm going to go, as a Man United fan, I'm going to go to Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney, aren't I? Still only 1-0 in the Arsenal Olympiacos game. Zed says, regarding your comments for Pogba, it should be noted he was suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. This has no place in sports. It's an opinion. You're entitled to it. I'm tired. Nice ball out to Mendes. Is Mendes the best left-back in the world? Rui straight at the keeper. Yes. Yes, he is. Yes. I think there's debate for who, you know, sometimes in certain positions, but I don't think there's any debate about Mendes. I think he is the best left-back in the world. I actually thought there was a time where you could say Andy Robertson was one of the best left-backs in the world. I actually think there was a time where you could say Luke Shaw, and I'll die on that hill. Not now. I would be dead if I said that. But no, I think Mendes is the best left-back in the world. Right back, I think, is a little bit more interesting because, again, I think Hakimi's got to be in the conversation. Is there a better right back than Hakimi? Timber's doing very well at Arsenal, but the way he plays forward, Hakimi, he is better than Timber. Dumfries is good. I still think Hakimi's better. Good play here by PSG. Vitinha should have played it earlier to Bacola there. He was trying to be a bit too clever with the pass there, Vitinha. Lovely feet by Pedri. Reece James, Lema, Dumfries. They're all good right backs. Koundé is a good right back. I think Hakimi's better than all of them. Kyle Walker was, as a wise Brummy said, says Kide, but yeah, no way. Ty says, the new Champions League format is good unless you're Arsenal and you finish third in the table but have to play the second leg away. I don't know whether they're making a change to that, Ty, but that to me was ridiculous. I don't know why Arsenal finished third in the group, third in the league, and then had to play both their second leg away games. I don't know why. They need to change that. Who's your second favourite team behind United, said Z? Don't really have one, mate. I have teams I like, but I don't really, and that changes based on performance, really. You know, I used to like watching Brighton a lot. You know, I got a lot of respect for Bournemouth. I think they're a very good team. Cash Talks Football says, hello again from the biggest football channel in the world. The old Champions League group would be better if it was all out of the hat and not seeded. Imagine that. Groups of death. Does Pedri get into every Premier League team's midfield, says Taylor? Yes. Yes. Yes, you'd find a place for him in a Liverpool team. You'd find him in a place for an Arsenal team, Chelsea, Man City. Yeah. Even, you know, Newcastle have got a good midfield three, but you'd find a place for him. My foot is bloody killing me. Each team used to play 3 teams, now 7. It's better, says Mo. Jake Daniels says, what's your thoughts on young Philly? Mate, there's people out there who won't talk about it, who are a lot closer to him than I am. So, good luck. I'm not talking about it. Will you please run for Huddersfield Mayor, says Zed. From that to that. 9G says Pedri is literally the best midfielder in the world. He's I think for me, he's one of the easiest players. Gabriel's injured for Arsenal at the moment. On the eye. Vitinha's a very good player. He's injured here, Pedri. We don't want to see that. Who do you think is the best midfielder in the Prem? Rodri, innit? Innit, bruv? It's Rodri, innit, bruv? What do you think about Jude Bellingham? I don't watch a lot of Real Madrid. So I think if you don't watch a lot of a team, it's a bit hard to say, oh, he's not as good as this, he's not as good as that. I mean, I do like watching Barcelona and PSG, so I see more of them. Obviously, I watch quite a bit of Bayern Munich now. I don't think I've watched a Real Madrid game this season yet. I don't think I have. I mean, Jude Bellingham's a good player. I feel like he was better before Mbappe went. I think he was better for England and Real Madrid 18 months ago, but you know, he's still a very, very good player. Just having a look what Real Madrid's fixtures are to see if we're going to be doing any Champions League watch-alongs for them. Unlikely to do Juventus. El Clasico on Sunday the 26th of October. Oh, Liverpool Real Madrid on the 4th of November. We'll definitely do that. Yeah. So there you go. Not that long till we get to watch them together. Playing Man City on the 10th of December as well. Probably watch that. So yeah, got some good opportunities to see them. Good defending by Barcelona. I think PSG have been the better side second half. Who's with me? Vitinha. Hakimi. Good tackle again. Had to be a good tackle, otherwise it would have been a foul. Torres has gone off. I think Rashford's gone off, hasn't he? He's put Lewandowski up front and put Torres on the left. Which I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't know whether I agree with that. Yeah, he took Rashford off. I don't agree with that. I thought Rashford looked quite, especially for the break along. Envim says, start bench sell, watch along 8 p.m. show, match reaction. Well, you should be ranking all that, not me. I would say I love the 8 p.m. shows. I love the 8 p.m. shows. It's proper conversation on an 8 p.m. show. Match reaction and watch along. We don't control it. We just react. 8 p.m. shows, I think, is more authentic. Juventus are 2-1 up against Villarreal. Napoli are still drawing with Sporting. Man City are still beating Monaco 2-1. PSV and Leverkusen are actually 1-1. We've missed both goals there because it was Kafane who made it 1-0. And then it was Sabari who made it 1-1. So they are level. Good result for PSG, that, because they've played well. Coventry are beating Millwall 4-0. Lampard is doing an absolutely brilliant job at Coventry. Arsenal still 1-0. Dortmund still 2-1 against Athletic Bilbao. We're definitely watching the better game here tonight. They're second in the Championship, Coventry. Middlesbrough top. Neither of them have lost a game after 8. Middlesbrough top, Coventry second, and Stoke third. Only Leicester from the newly promoted teams are doing okay. They're 6th. Southampton are 14th. And Ipswich are 13th. Very, very competitive league, the Championship. Very competitive. Who do you think will be going up from the Championship this season? Well, it's very tough, DGP. I mean, I would always talk about people like Southampton and Leicester because of the, you know, parachute payments and their yo-yo clubs. But here's Lewandowski. Yamal shoots wide. Rasmus again for Napoli. 2-1. He's having a great time. You know what? In fairness to Ruben Amorim, he must sit there on European weeks and go, can I go on holiday with somewhere that's got no social media? Because you've got Chelsea with Garnacho. You've got even Betis with Anthony. They're playing in Europe. You've obviously got Rashford at Barcelona. You've got Erasmus at Napoli. He must just sit there going, there's no way I can come through this. I can't come through this without looking an idiot. De Bruyne got the assist again as well. 2 assists for De Bruyne, 2 goals for Rasmus. I like Luis Enrique. I think he's a very good coach. Can we keep Rasmus Usman? No, they've got option to buy, haven't they? I didn't want Rasmus to go. I wanted us to keep a backup striker, but and he wanted to stay. Like he 100% wanted to stay. But in hindsight, it's just brilliant for him, isn't it? He's still only 22. He's scoring goals in the Champions League. You are, you know, you're playing for a team that's fighting for the title in Serie A. I mean, it's actually an upgrade, as weird as it sounds. I mean, he did not want to go. Boyhood Man United fan, did not want to go, which says a lot about his character. But 100% the right place to go, isn't it? Really the right place to go. And you know, as I said to him, you know, you could be back in the Premier League if you wanted to be in 3 years' time, and you'd only be 25. Did anyone follow Roy Keane's managerial career? Why do people think he can manage United? Won promotion with Sunderland 2 decades ago and then flops, as Nick P. I don't think anybody does. want Roy Keane to be manager of Man United. I don't think Roy Keane wants to be manager of Man United. This second half has flown by the way. It's a corner to PSG here. When is the new camp going to be finished? Sabiani over the bar. I think this is going to end up being a draw. All memes aside, Mark, thanks for what you do, says Cash Talks Football. Thank you very much for your super chat. Tutti Frutti says, hi, Mark. Could I get your opinion on the London fire of 1666? Well, I wasn't there, you cheeky prat. But apparently, it was because... wasn't it? Didn't it start in a bakery? I mean, all I would say is, you know, build a very heavily populated area out of wood and you're probably going to have a fire. Started in Pudding Lane, that's right. There's a tower, isn't there? Oh, he's hit the post. Lovely play by Kang In. And he's hit the foot of the post. Could have been a winner there for PSG. He's only 24. Fire of London Monument. I've been up it. Yeah. You can walk up it. I've been up it. There's a monument. I think it's got like a certain number of steps. It was constructed in 1671. That's it. It's got 311 steps. PSG definitely been the better side. What do you think about Bristol City going up? They never go up, Collins. They never go up. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Michael says it helps having De Bruyne. Yeah, Arsenal still 1-0 up. I think they'll get the job done. We've got a few pigeons in the chat because they're still talking about Rasmus's second goal, which we spoke about a few minutes ago. Man City 2-1 up still against Monaco. Napoli 2-1 up now against Sporting. Juventus 2-1 up away to Villarreal. Leverkusen and PSV's 1-1. Dortmund are 3-1 now. Third goal scored by... Yeah, I knew he'd get one. I bloody knew he would. Grazie. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon I'll be live on the channel with all the goals from the Bundesliga. So tune in for that. And then we've got a live match from the Bundesliga on Friday night at 7:30. But all the goals, highlights and story of the league so far, tables, etc., goals of the week, tomorrow afternoon on this channel. UK Raven says, Arsenal been sloppy second half. Olympiacos have played well. I thought Benfica played well against Chelsea as well. I wouldn't say the English clubs have been dominant this week. Liverpool losing to Galatasaray. Benfica played well against Chelsea. Obviously, they won with an own goal. Only 1-0 Arsenal against Olympiacos. Man City only 2-1 up against Monaco. I definitely think PSG have been the better side here, though, second half. It's interesting how I felt Barcelona were going to go away with it, but it's good defending there by Chesney. Spurs drawing against Bodo Glimt, yes. I forget about Spurs and Newcastle. Really need English clubs to do well if we want fifth spot again. Don't worry, mate. You bloody, Goldbridge, you bloody idiot. Don't forget about me in the bloody Europa League again. I'm already the champion of the Europa League with Spurs, and I took the trophy with me, you bloody idiot, mate. But, don't you be forgetting about me and Unai in the Europa League, because, I think we've got a great chance of winning it, we'll be contributing to that, 5th place at the end of the day. Free kick here. Again, on the edge of the box, Barcelona. Right on the edge of the box. I don't think that looked like it was a foul on Torres. The pass has already gone. Really don't understand why he's gone back and given a free kick there, Michael Oliver, at all. Monaco got a penalty. I don't understand why Michael Oliver's gone back and given a free kick there. The pass has already gone. It's a shoulder barge after the pass has been played. They've not really been in the game second half, Barcelona, but they've had a couple of good free kick chances. That's a terrible free kick. And now, PSG have got a 3v3, and if he slips him in, Hakimi. Oh, he's still there. Mbappe. Good defending, Barcelona. They've got it out well. I've been very impressed with PSG this second half. Very, very good. They're just so good to watch when they're in this form, moving the ball around really quickly, finding the spaces, making the overlapping runs. Width, width, width. Here it is again. Market's kicking off somewhere. Monaco penalty, red card. Penalty check in the Arsenal game as well. Nah, it's never a penalty, is it? Nah. That'd be the softest penalty in the world, that would. Right, let's go to Monaco. Yeah, he's given the penalty. I don't know what it was for. Oh, he's kicked him in the head, hasn't he? Yeah, high foot. Hakimi's in down the right-hand side. It's a lovely pass. Oh, what a way to finish. Ramos might have been offside. What a... PSG have been brilliant this half. Hakimi. Incredible performance. It's such a good... we were literally debating about 20 minutes ago, is Hakimi the best right back in the world? To which the answer is yes. Ramos might be offside. How's he got himself offside? I think he's offside. Eric Dyer's made it 2-2. You can't be offside if you pass the ball backwards, but I think he is offside. Idiot. Andrew, are you like Michael Oliver's brother or something? Why are you doing super chats about a referee having a good game? Lovely penalty by Eric Dyer. Check over. Goal given. 2-1. Oh, you've got to applaud PSG. They've been so good. They've been so good this second half. I mean, I reckon we can probably get the stats up on the screen to prove it, but they have been fantastic. Very equal game in the first half, but second half, no debates. No debates. Look at that. More possession, more shots on target, more corners. They have been the better side. 100%. So Man City look like they're going to draw here. Arsenal have made it 2. 2-0 to Arsenal. Saka. But Man City look like they're going to draw this. Dortmund have won 4-1 against Bilbao. Brandt getting the 4th goal. So all going on. Leverkusen still 1-1 with PSV. Villarreal 2-2 now with Juve. Late equaliser there. Vega. I thought he was dead. Vincent Vega. Shot on the toilet by Bruce Willis. If you know, you know. Only 3 minutes being added on here. I'd say well, it's a good result for Monaco, this. Do we think Hull City will get promoted, Mark? I don't even know what league they're in, Harvey. Scary to think what PSG could have done with the players they're missing, says Make. I mean, that's the thing about PSG. They've got such a good squad, haven't they? And they're so well coached as well. You know, talk about good squad. But it's not just about that. I mean, this Njantu that's come on as well, he's looked quite lively for PSG. He's only 18. So we had a 17-year-old start in Mbaye, 19-year-old start who scored, Mayula, and then an 18-year-old, number 47, Njantu, coming on as well. I mean, just got so many good players. So exciting. And they've won 2-1. Thoroughly deserved result as well. To go to Barcelona and win ain't easy. And that is a real statement win by PSG. Best team in the world. And they made Barcelona look below par in the second half. And I didn't expect them to do that. So, yeah, very good performance from PSG. The thing for PSG is, can they maintain the fitness and sharpness throughout the season? Because they had no summer. So can they maintain it? And if they can, then they, you know, they're going to be very, very difficult to stop again, because they were so good in the Champions League last year, as we know. Yeah, a thoroughly enjoyable game. I love the way Luis Enrique gets PSG playing. I mean, traditionally, I wouldn't have a lot of love for PSG. You know, they basically buy everything, don't they? But respect where it's due. Just a fantastic footballing performance again. And I'm never not going to praise teams that play good football. And they play really good football. And Barcelona just had no response in the second half. It was chance after chance, attack after attack. And the right team won, definitely. Is Yamal overhyped? Says people. People can have bad games. I thought, I actually think Barcelona made a mistake taking Rashford off. I think the minute they took Rashford off, they lost pace on the break, and no Rafinha either. I think as soon as he went off, they became more of a threat. I'm just going to wait till the Monaco-Man City game is over, because that's still on. Eric Dyer, man of the match. Rasmus with a brace as the K-Stone. result for Monaco, though. I would not expect Monaco to get a result against Manchester City. It's not like they have an intimidating ground as well, Monaco. It's, I mean, it's basically a sovereign state, isn't it? A wealthy area. They're not known for their ultras. But Man City have got a bit of a break on here. Bernardo Silva used to play for Monaco, didn't he? Yes, he did. Huge areas of the ground that don't even have people watching. I mean, their attendance is probably pretty low. What's the capacity here? So close to a result here, Monaco. I mean, yeah, there's hardly any fans there. Look how empty it is. It's finished 2-2. Great result for Monaco, 2-2 against Man City. And fair play to them for that. Well done. Well done. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Really, really appreciate it. Loved that game. That's what we're here for. It's not always about Premier League teams. It's about good football. As I said, don't forget tomorrow afternoon I'll be doing all the all the Bundesliga goals ahead of Friday's game. Story of the week, all the goals, goal of the week, etc. And we've got win, lose or draw back with me and Robbie on Friday morning as well. And then obviously live football over the weekend. Liverpool, Chelsea, Bundesliga Friday night, Sunday football as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Really great spending the evening with you. Some cracking conversations, some cracking topics. And I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care, stay safe, and thank you very much for tuning in. That's football. You're all very welcome. The home of football, where everybody's welcome. Speak to you in a bit.